Hi wrestling fans, thanks for clicking on the Dreaded Heroes Report. How you like this angle? Anyway, I just thought I'd do a little something different. Get tired of the same picture on that YouTube all the time. But anyway, former superstar Matt Hardy, he appeared on Hit the Ropes radio show this week, and here's a little bit of a highlight, I guess. Talked about the PG era in WWE. He was asked. He says, I see why they do it. Don't necessarily agree with it. I think puts them in a tough spot, and they think it's still cool. The TNA has the ability. I think it's still cool, he says. Now, I think they still have the ability to do a little more edgy stuff, which is true. And starting with an indie promotion, he was asked, he said, well, I've talked to different guys about it already, and I said, I definitely started making some small plans, and by the time that goes on, he says, it'll start materializing a little bit more. Anyway, then he was asked about returning to WWE. Thought I heard somebody getting ready to come in. Said if I did go back there, I would want to go back there and work just a part-time schedule. He said I think my body and where I'm at right now is past working 300 plus days a year now. He said I'd like to be willing to work hard and work for the majority of the shows, but still not just out there in trenches day in and day out. He said I like it's been for the past 13 years, which he's put a lot of time in, a lot of wear and tear on his body, but to ask to go back on part-time, I don't know. Not that big a star. WWE's Hall of Famer Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, he's going to be doing a meet and greet down at FCW show Friday, January 28th, Lakeland Armory, Lakeland, Florida. The show begins at 7:30. If you live down that way, come on by. And word is that there's a total, I used to do this a long time ago, edit out all the crap in between matches like on WWE and put it all together of solid wrestling. Well, anyway, somebody had done this other than me and came up with a total of in-ring wrestling time of 13 minutes 3 seconds on this week's episode of WWE NXT. At one point, WWE's title match for the Royal Rumble pay-per-view was planned to be a triple threat with Morrison, Orton, and The Miz, and now there's talk of adding Sheamus to the match, making it a four-way. So we'll find out later about that. For the year in 2010, by the way, Monday Night Raw averaged about a 3.28 cable rating. And of course, this is what the advertisers base their, what they pay to be advertised on there. And this is down 8% from 2009 average of a 3.57 in comparison to 2008 average of about a 3.27, which was down quite a bit there. And 2007 averaged a rating of 3.61, and 2006 Raw averaged a 3.9. I can't remember what the wrestling war was going on then. I forget now. All right, Dolph Ziggler, by the way, won the Pro Battle Royal on Tuesday night's NXT, allowing him to switch out his rookie. Ziggler dropped Jacob Novak, who later was eliminated, by the way, and picked up Brian Saxton as a rookie. Masters, who had Saxton, was given Novak, which was a bad deal. All right, John Cena, Randy Orton versus The Miz, CM Punk, with Michael Cole, special guest referees, being advertised for Monday's night Raw in Buffalo, New York, February 28th. Please make a note of it. Alright, matches for tonight's Superstars of WGN is going to be JTG versus Tyler Rex, and Kurt Hawkins taking on Masters, Zack Ryder taking on Yoshitatsu. Tag team action is going to be Ted DiBiase, Tyson Kidd taking on Mark Henry, and Daniel Bryan, the U.S. champ. And coming out of this week's NXT, rookie Derek Bateman still is the win-loss of 0-3, while Connor O'Brien still has the leading the pack with a 2-0. Jim Ross, he talks about getting lots of emails and tweets and whatever on his barbecue website too regarding Sting these days. Whether he's left TNA, what they're going to do, is he going to be in the Hall of Fame, and Jim Ross says like I do. Anyway, of course, then he talked about, I don't know if I mentioned this yet or not, Paul Orndorff was diagnosed with having cancer. Didn't hear what of, but anyway, Jim Ross talks about Paul Orndorff being a tough man. He said, I know without any hype or speculation, he's great because I saw him in action when he was a young dude being mentored by Cowboy Bill Watts, and Mid-South Wrestling. All right, what else have we got here? Oh, a little bit of spoiler on WWE title at WrestleMania is something about maybe Awesome Kong might be at WrestleMania. I don't know about going after a title, but we'll find out. All right, now this is kind of interesting. If you hold on here and remember what I'm saying, the segment-by-segment numbers for Raw, WWE Raw, the title match between Morrison and Miz, which was a fantastic match. If somebody's taped it for you, check it out if you missed it, or watch it again. Anyway, that segment drew a 3.1 for the first quarter hour, and then 3.2 on the second quarter hour. Maurice, Melina, Alicia Fox, Brie Bella versus Brie Bella, Eve Torres, Natalia, they tumbled to a 2.9. In TNA, they go up whenever the women's out. Anyway, the in-ring segment with Punk, Wade Barrett, and Nexus setting up for the main event stipulations and everything went up to a 3.2 again. Alberto Del Rio versus R-Truth fell to a 3.0. 2.7 beginning of the steel cage between Orton and Barrett. Sheamus grew to a 3.2 and then increased to a 3.8 for the overrun. From start to finish, steel cage match gained 1,611,000 viewers. Overall, the show did a 3.08 with about 4.5 million people. So that kind of tells you what people are watching, what they're not watching. How do they know? Nielsen's, I guess, they know somehow. I did a Nielsen survey, and they never had me ask. They never asked about a quarter hour what I was watching and what I wasn't, or when I went to the bathroom. None of their business. All right, WWE House Show March 19, 2011 has been moved to the Civic Center from Roanoke, Virginia. Originally it was at the Civic Center in Florence, South Carolina. WWE SmackDown taping March 15th on the 11th. 2011 is Sprint Center, Kansas City, Missouri. Tickets go on sale the 5th. WWE returns to Jack Braslin Students Event Center, East Lansing, Michigan, March 27th. And it's revealed last night that NXT, that the winner of the season will get to team with the WWE Pro for a shot at the WWE tag titles. Still haven't said anything about money. All right, I don't know whether they get bonus for winning or not. They should. WWE DVD News, by the way, released the art cover for the World Wrestling Entertainment upcoming set on the Big Show. Big Show's Giant World. It's a giant world, I guess. And of course, it shows the Big Show on it. All right. I think some of the things that's on there is Busted Open with Paul Orndorff, hosted. Oh, this is my fault. Not on the DVD. This is on the radio show, Busted Open. Anyway, Paul Orndorff said, "Never held the WWF Championship. I was a rebel. I'm proud of it." And, it just went right by him. And where he is with cancer, he says, "I don't know." He says, "I'm going to go to the doctors. They're doing some tests. I brought it up not for sympathy, but I brought it because I don't want it. I just found out." And he said, "I'm sitting there telling you guys about this stuff," and said, "I wonder if I should have just played the game and not said anything." Then he talked about Randy Orton and Bruno Sammartino, or Paul Orndorff did, about not being in the WWE Hall of Fame. He says, "Well, they can kiss my McMahon's ass." He says, or they didn't kiss McMahon's ass as much, I guess. And of course, the guys that didn't kiss ass, believe it or not there. He says, "I'm damn sure I'm sure I didn't." He said, "Just life." He says, "Since I'm in the Hall of Fame, though, I had to choose between the two," and he said, "Professional Wrestling Hall of Fame or whatever." But he, not no ass kisser. Mick Foley noted on his Twitter that he and Scott Stanford was a part of the college radio station back in the 80s. I think I might have mentioned that yesterday. Hey, I might as well get the hell off of here, but thanks for clicking again. I gotta go.